The final match of round one of the Bunnings NPC has two of the heavyweights marking the 106th meeting between Auckland and Canterbury. Both provinces have a 50 win, 50 loss and 5 draws to date. The Red and Blacks of Canterbury have won the last 2 clashes, with Auckland's win way back in the finals in 2018. Former Waikato and Irish halfback is alongside me, Isaac Boss. And Isaac, this potentially could be an epic.
Thank you, Willie. It could be an epic. What a way to start the Bunnings NPC. Canterbury obviously coming off a sluggish season last year by their standards, fighting off relegation in the closing games. They'll be able to start the season with a flyer away here to Auckland.
They had 47,000 in here last night, and Jeff Wilson was lucky enough to be here. He's also with us now sideline. How are conditions, Jeff?
Yeah, challenging, Willie. G'day, Isaac. Yes, everyone at home. Yeah, a difficult afternoon in front of these two teams. There's a blustery northwesterly wind. It's just turned westerly, and it has been raining pretty heavily over the last half an hour. It's cleared slightly now, but both teams will have to be very careful with handling and footing, and they'll have to play this game in the right part of the field.
As we look inside the Auckland changing room, and the coach Alama Amir is committed to developing the young talent and established tight five with Super Rugby experience in the loose trio of Choate and Gibson. But 19-year-old Violeni Ikuasi from De La Salle College gets his first cap. 6 foot and 106 Ks. He is powerful and demonstrated that at the World School Sevens. Quality in the halves, but attention will be on the former Auckland Grammar second 5'8", Corey Evans. He's had 3 ACL injuries post-school, but Auckland have invested in time in his rehab, and his combination with the veteran Bryce Heem will be crucial to getting quality ball to the flying back three. Plenty of impact as well from the bench come from Tupulotu, Redlinger, Kappa and Carter.
Yeah, and the focus Canterbury here have a rather inexperienced forward pack with 3 debutants, Stewart, Gibson and Stowers, putting more pressure on the likes of Luke Romano, the experienced Centurion for the Crusaders, will be at his 4 today, leading this pack around. And the backs, Mitchell Drummond, captain, will be looking to steady the ship with his kicking game. And the exciting Josh Mackay at fullback will be looking to leave Canterbury in winning ways before he heads off to Glasgow at the end of the season.
Canterbury have won 6 of the last 7 meetings. And as mentioned too, of course, the NPC competition, first contested in 1976. Bay of Plenty were the winners. And post that, Auckland have won 15 of the 30. And Canterbury certainly have had their fair share of titles. They'll take on Manawatu next week at home and then host Hawke's Bay before they travel to Dunedin to play Otago in round 4. Plenty of class in this Canterbury team, as you'd imagine. And the supporters Club Rugby Cup is up for grabs as well. Mitchell Drummond leads them out. And the youngster is a 21-year-old, just 21-year-old lock, Sam Derry. He'll feel comfy in red and black at Eden Park as he made his debut season with the Blues this year. Former captain of the first 15 at Christ College, is a terrific talent. Dad Hunter, a former North Otago lock and police detective, and Mum Cat is the All Black nutritionist. Auckland are away to Tasman before returning to play Bay of Plenty, and then they'll travel to the capital. Good crowding as well in the far stand, and they've got plenty to celebrate. Beaten by Tasman last year in the final was this team. And 24-year-old Celesio Ayasi out of St. Pat Silverstream, 14 tries in season 2020, 663 metres, 26 clean breaks. Fell out of love with rugby and decided to devote his time to basketball, and how lucky we are to have him back in our game. He's refound the love, and he certainly had an outstanding 2020.
Oh, he has. He's really come on too, hasn't he? He's one of those players that have sort of grown with the chances he's had in Super Rugby, and he's really going to... I look forward to what he can bring to this NPC this year. A bit more experience, and he'll need it all today with these conditions. I expect to see a lot of ball coming his way in the air rather than through the hands.
Great occasion here for young Jimmy Samuels out of Corfi Intermediate. Favourite player, Jonah Lomu, who played Ripper Rugby for Ponsonby before he had a pacemaker installed. Part of the Starship children that we promote and elevate in the Bunnings NPC for 2021. trying conditions with the breeze and also the rain that will come and go. Nick Bryant in charge of this.
On me or on them? On them.
Well, we're all set. The third clash between Auckland and Canterbury just over the weekend. We'll get to those results, other results, in just a moment. As Fergus Burke gets us underway. Auckland with first possession, but they've lost it forward into the hands of Jaeger. And Drummond immediately gets it into some big forwards to Rumble. The kick over the top, the bounce all important. Still bouncing, still alive as well. Canterbury. Ball went backwards and now it's gone forward.
Take advantage.
Referee says there's an advantage here for Auckland, so just concentration on doing the basics important here.
Use it, 10.
Directing traffic is Plummer.
Say us, no.
Renata with his first touch of the ball, and now Ruru, the normal halfback, regular halfback, gets into position. Nice high kick. Plenty of pressure coming on. Burke. Good tackle as well made by Lamb. Auckland look for the counter ruck, but Canterbury managing to hold on to it. Good start to the game between these two sides as Drummond asks the forwards to come in. He's going to kick. Plummer. Good field position. Gives it to Sullivan.
Okay, 22 on.
Gives it to his opposite in Mackay. Well, they've gone 90 seconds in the match. A few early errors, but now looking for territory again as Burke. Easily taken by Rayasi. Game of force back here, and that's a lovely kick from Rayasi. That's a wonderful left-footed kick. Not much angle.
Not much angle at all. We just spoke about him in the build-up, and what a great left foot. Punishing left foot that sending it down. But a bit of a sloppy start, a long passage of play. Willie, 5 kicks, a couple of knock-ons, drop down, advantage played.
Okay.
Might be the story of the match today, I think.
We got that right? Yeah, we got it right, yeah. Still leading 2 minutes.
First line out. They knocked the ball on at the kick-off Auckland. And it was kicked back to them, and as you mentioned, Isaac, then they played a little bit of AFL, but taken down by the new man, Ikwasi. Nice drive from the blue and white hoops. Good body position. Canterbury stopped them for a moment, but they continue to drive forward through uppy side.
Patience. Wait.
Rudu sends Lane out at first receiver. The big lock over the advantage line, and now more time for the forwards to get around the corner. Big shot coming in from Leonard Brown. Plummer calls for the ball and gets it. Nice ball out to Sullivan. He gets it out. Now Lamb's in. First chance to score for Auckland.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, mate.
And AJ Lamb gets in the corner.
Wow, what a try. Great hands there from Sullivan. By all money, I didn't think they'd be able to do this. Few not handling errors early, just there. Shot in and didn't shut the ball down. You really got to be able to close the ball down in these conditions right on the line. Just hesitated for a minute, did Mackay, and let him get the ball away. And a great way to start the match there for Auckland.
Brilliantly done. Manasa Mataele is the defensive read. He made a mistake for Canterbury and enabled the player to get on the outside of him, Sullivan, and just, it was a simple through the hands, but it was nicely done on the inside channel in terms of protecting possession. Decision today will be how much you want to play, given the fact handling will be difficult, but that was nicely done, and Canterbury will be disappointed with that because their defence is normally one of their great strengths, but they did not put pressure on the ball, and they certainly didn't come up and shut down the space, like you said, Isaac. So Harry Plummer will look to convert after a perfect start for the blue and white hoops.
"23 years old, under 20s for New Zealand in 2018 out of St. Peter's College. Now at the Grammar Tech Club, and his first chance to score points in 2021. Unsuccessful, but AJ Lamb, 17th cap in Mata'ele, he was pointing to something, Jeff, after they had got it wide. I don't know what it was.
Maybe the touch judge thought he was an extra player. I'm not exactly sure. His job was to get out there and cover, and they just didn't number up. So now they're on the receiving end.
Lane couldn't take that one either, but Heem is there to tidy things up. Gives it to Rayasi, charged down by Dari. They'll come back from the original lost forward, so kickoff's not going well for Auckland.
Not going well at all, and I think it's kind of deceptive. Looks clear out there, but there is a bit of a swirling wind. There's a bit of rain just drizzling down still, and that ball is slippery, but it seemed to have held up a bit, and he just lost it. Didn't go anywhere near him, to be honest, and Canterbury should have taken that.
Yeah, absolutely. And held up in the wind, and as a lock and lifter, you can't commit to the space too early. If you commit to where you think it's going to land and it comes up short, you'll miss it every time. So I just imagine Auckland here. Now they're looking to clear space, remembering that the 50-22 law is in place. So if they're in their own half and bounce it out in the opposition 22, they'll receive the line out. So this is a perfect opportunity maybe to chase that chance.
First scrum of the game is a good one for Auckland. Rudu will have to use it.
Stationary.
Plummer does the kicking. Mackay in good field position as always. That breeze, is that favouring Auckland in the first 40, Jeff?
Oh, really strong. It is strong. That's a nice kick. Really good kick into the wind. There's no doubt when it gets up a little bit higher, it takes more effect. Ground level, not so bad, but it is certainly blustery, and the number of fronts coming in.
Auckland opt for a short line out. It comes back to upper side. Holds on to possession now. Scrafton plays half into Plummer. They get up quickly. Stewart on debut for Canterbury. The nice tackle. The dummy from Heem. Gets them up to the halfway. Rudu with an inside ball to the try scorer and AJ Lamb. Sullivan just threw it out to Ayasi and said deal with it, and he did. But he's kicked it too far. And he'll come back for Canterbury scrum.
Not quite as good as his first kick there, Ayasi.
Scrum or 22?
But definitely the kicking game, looking strong. That kick from Plummer earlier from inside the 22, if he had just pushed it to the sideline, that could have been a 50-22 straight away. Mackay covered it well, but he was 15 metres in. There's plenty of space there, leaving in the backfield for this wind.
Well, when you introduce a law which changes how the backfield is played, all of a sudden you'll have to commit a couple of guys back to cover the sidelines, which may present opportunities in the middle of the park. So if the defensive lines aren't quite as flat, or if there is space in behind, you need to find it.
So are you basically saying you're a fan of the new rule?
I'll wait and see, reserve my judgment. Just whether teams use it to good effect. We've seen a couple of tries, line-out drives from good 50-22 kicks, so we've seen the effect it's had in rugby league. You know, I don't imagine we'll see a lot of it, Willie, but it could be critical at points in the game, particularly when weather conditions are difficult like today.
Okay, stay on.
Canterbury.
Just wait, stay close.
Trish Stowers was outstanding for Samoa in the World Cup qualifiers as Mitchell goes for a sniping run off the scrum. Auckland really are challenging that breakdown area. Canterbury able to hold on to it. Good defence again from Auckland, from Lane and Hodgman.
It's here, no one. It's here.
Drummond will kick. Rayasi, not too much pressure on him. And he'll use that left foot to try and angle it right across the field, but Mackay, the threat was there, brings it back. Is he going to try and run it out? Yes, he will. Rayasi will bring him down. That counter ruck again from Auckland. He's just gone straight down, and you can't collapse when the ball's still in the ruck.
Ball's still in.
Mackay's putting his forwards under a bit of pressure there. Wasn't sure to run it, wasn't sure to kick it. Probably wasn't quite enough people back. Didn't pass it either, and then just put the boys under pressure. And when the ball's on the ground like that in a turnover position, it's just, any forward will almost jump on that. It's just too tempting.
We just see when the cook went down there, they had two guys back, and he maybe just had too much time, and there's not many players that'll get around the outside of Salesi Rayasi. And just watch here, Jaeger goes to ground, and he can't do that. The fact that they were using their feet was fine, both sides, but he just sealed that off. And Plummer will try and take the three, and I think if points are on offer, it could be difficult to score here today. if the defences get up, get quickly and put pressure on.
Well, there is Harry Plummer, and there is the distance that he has, 39 metres. Oliver Jaeger out of the Blackrock College, Isaac. Very, very popular and well-known school.
Very well-known school. A bit of a rugby institution in Ireland, in Dublin. The amount of Irish internationals or just professional players all around the world at the minute. They really, really do have a great rugby program. Blackrock College out of Dublin.
Plummer tries to adjust after the first miss, and he's kicking at 50% now and extends the lead to 8. I like the way that they are challenging at the breakdown. It's been a real feature in the opening 10 minutes.
It has been, whether it's on the ground or in the air, they're really attacking it, and that's where it's going to be won today. Auckland setting out their intentions, and I actually thought Canterbury might have brought a little bit more there. They'll have to adjust quickly.
Third chance, and Auckland brought their jumpers up closer, which meant that Sullivan had to catch it. The fullback is caught by Liam Allen. Plummer offloads it to Ikuasi. Look at him, just 19 years old. He is a big unit. Takes some stopping. Plummer sends it down the middle of the field on this occasion, in between Burke and Mackay.
Okay, wait, boys, that's it.
So the game of force back continues. Plummer looks left, sends it there as well. Skids off the ground.
And Auckland winning the kicking game again, very crucial. See the slide off that ground there once it bounced. Absolutely. Grass is a bit longer, I think you were mentioning earlier, Jeff, were you?
Yeah, absolutely. And the moisture's well and truly on the top of it, so it is going to skid very, very quickly.
Tap back by Scrafton. More possession for the home side as Corey Evans gets his first touch of the ball. Just 20 years old. Choked out of the Waitemata Club in West Auckland.
Think about it.
Got an advantage, they might try and run it. Heem is hit by Punivai.
Stuck there and you gave your right chance, mate. Roll away.
It's going to be a good contest between the apprentice and the professional in Heem. Gosh, he's been good. Bryce Heem, 32 years old. Started his career way back in 2010 with Tasman, where he played 3 caps, then some time with Northland, Tasman, the Blues and Chiefs. And he really got nailed here by Punivai.
It's a great read by Punivai, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing that battle. Reads it really well out the back. Unfortunately, again, another ruck error earlier, and this will be a test of how strong that wind is, with Plummer taking it from 52 metres.
No, I don't doubt if he strikes it nicely, he'll have the distance. They've got another option in their team for distance, Arn Sullivan. He has got a big left boot as well. It's 52 metres, but obviously the confidence from Plummer, if he gets it up in the air and strikes it, he'll get it to carry. Oh, there's been an organised start from Auckland. I think they've been really clear in their plan about what they want to play. They've certainly kicked it well, and a little bit of indecision, whether it be Burke or Mackay at the back, has led to Auckland having try-scoring or point-scoring opportunities.
Plummer, no problem with the distance or the direction. Sending out a warning to Canterbury that you can't be ill-disciplined inside your half or just inside ours.
Almost a point a minute at the start of the match, and they haven't even taken the kickoff properly yet. They've had 3 kickoffs and fluffed them all, and that's a crucial part of set piece. Let's see Canterbury do it again and actually try and get some ball here.
Scott Scrafton looks on, but it's Lane. Was in his zone anyway. Ball eventually comes to Ruru,
Advantage over.
who kicks the advantages over. Running back
It is inside, boys.
is Burke. So Auckland's tactic is use the wind, force them into their own half.
On the pass.
And Plummer just dropped it. First error from the young 23-year-old.
And that's what Canterbury needed. They needed something just to calm the nerves, the first match nerves, and get something back into the game. Here, you see the rain coming down in that close picture. That's how slippery that ball is. Scrum time here. They were looking just to get through a few phases, get their hands on the ball, hold it, gain a bit of confidence, and get themselves back into this match.
Well, Jeff, they need to get Mitre and Puriwai into the game, don't they, this Canterbury side?
Yeah, just some momentum going forward, but first and foremost, get the set piece right. Put some pressure on Auckland that way. Back to what they're good at.
Ball is there, the challenge is okay, and Drummond spotted a little bit of space down the left-hand flank. Mitre chasing on. Is that carried back? Yes, it is. From Plummer, it'll be a 5-metre scrum.
Carried back, 5-metre scrum.
Something went wrong at the back of the scrum, but what about the heads-up play from Mitchell Drummond?
Yeah, very good work by Ruru. Putting a bit of pressure on Stowers and Drummond. We see here, just grabbing the arm, classic little halfback trick, but Mitchell Drummond down the line, great little nudge in. I think that was actually off Lamb. If it bounced anyway, there was 3 Canterbury guys there.
Oh, that's great work, isn't it, from Plummer? Yeah, outstanding. That's Manasa Mitre, who's running through there trying to score that try. So
on the slide, one arm out too. That could have gone anywhere.
Could have gone anywhere.
He just dropped it 2 minutes earlier. So try-saving moment for himself.
Desperation usually delivers when you've got to deliver, but this is a great opportunity for Canterbury now. Keep it simple, build pressure, use your forwards. You've got experience in the likes of Romano.
They've got an international number 8 who just loves these sorts of situations. Plenty of experience. Stowers. Drummond gave it to nobody, and Puriwai had to go back and tidy up in the tackle of Corey Evans, who's driven back. Drummond, they go a little wider in that third channel. Keeps telling them to go around the corner. He wants more runners. This is Darry, young 21-year-old, good set. Here is all the experience with Romano. Jeff Wilson's talking about now. Timo Stowers, he couldn't hold on to it, but Luna will be able to clear this, and that's a lovely kick from the Auckland halfback. Look at this roll.
There it is.
Wow, did I do a 90-10? That's gone miles.
It's gone miles in there. And I always thought this would be the way teams would take advantage of it on turnovers, because no one's in the backfield. So all of a sudden, with the breeze behind them, watch it bounce. Kick from well and truly in his own half, and then bouncing out means they now have the line out. It's a huge play.
It changes that skill completely, doesn't it, Jeff? You used to kick it long and try and keep it in those 5-metre channels for them, for the opposition to put it out. Now you can have the confidence of just really going for length and going for distance.
Look at those numbers. 10 kicks in play, 400 kick metres already.
Ikuasi is the target. Not sure whether that was straight. Scrafton looks at the assistant referee, but he didn't throw the ball in.
Tough call, straight to the back in these conditions. Obviously got the confidence, drilled it a lot.
Have I ever seen a hooker shake a call off? Like in baseball, or... No. Come forward a bit, will you?
What are you saying, that hookers can now ask for a review?
Well, no, what I'm saying, whoever's called the line out going, not thinking that's a great idea in this breeze. Let's just go to the middle of the line or to the front.
15 metres out, money ball 2 or 4.
Yeah, you and me, Willie. That's where I'll be going.
Yeah. Henry, Timo Stowers controls it, but look at Ruru. Immediately a nuisance of himself, picked up by Plummer. He offloads. Beautiful. Scrafton is there. Auckland on the attack. Someone needs to play halfback. In fact, it was Scrafton that went in after the good work from Lane. Goes in and plays halfback again into the hands of Choate. In fact, that's Gibson in jersey 7. Choate in 6. Ruru a little bit wider. Plummer holds it up and then gives it to Sullivan. He's strong. There's Zane Sullivan. They've got an advantage here. Ruru to the left. Quick hands from Plummer. Bayasi. It's a free play. Now he puts on the accelerator. Top try scorer last year with 14 tries. That's gone to nobody. They'll come back for the penalty, surely. Auckland are going backwards. Nick Bryan agrees.
15.
Well, Jonathan Ruru has owned the first 20
15
minutes of
offside.
this game. Not only his kicks, but also the pressure he has put on Mitch Drummond.
Isaac, what's he doing so well to Drummond? What are Canterbury not doing to protect the halfback?
Yeah, it's
Harry.
a combination of factors there. Poor old Drummond's getting it on
Who's on
in
the
his
goal line?
ear, I imagine, from everybody.
Yeah.
But at the 8 there, he's almost not really bound. He's neither scrumming nor protecting his 9. Got to get it
Back on the goal
right
line,
across to that right-hand side of the scrum to give him as much space as possible. Just giving it a bit of a field day for Ruru to get around on him.
Yeah.
As a 9, I'd love this. This is, you know, you can just dominate them at the back there and then you get psychologically onto them. See, he sort of stops there. He's got open out. Good Stowers. He's neither scrumming nor protecting his 9. Maybe a little bit of combinations, you know, Stowers being Neil in there, you know, they maybe haven't had a lot of time to work on it yet.
Yeah, and that loose head side maybe of Auckland just turning the scrum slightly, just enough to make it that little bit more difficult. And what they've decided to do here with this penalty advantage is they've taken the scrum. They feel as though they've got some pressure on this Canterbury team. Auckland team looking really strong the first 20 minutes of this game.
Be interesting, of course, the scrum's been through in the same way. This is a chance for Drummond to maybe get his own back on Ruru here.
Well, they've got Rayasi
No, that's not a great
standing right behind the scrum. And why wouldn't you just give him the ball and say, go to work?
Yeah.
He's come forward just to have a chat with Ruru and also Plummer,
Let's go.
the architect.
What you can guarantee
Get that
is
stability,
that the Canterbury defence is going to rush quickly and they're going to jam from the outside in because this is a really difficult place to defend from. So all of those players that are behind the goal line are going to come up quick and jam and try and shut down the space on the inside as fast as they can.
They're very flat. They don't look like they're going more than 2 passes, maybe 8 off. Something like that here in these conditions.
Stand up. We made a real good start. Now, okay, we're moving all over the shop. Let's get still quicker. Right, set the scrum. Come on. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's go, boys. Race the
The one thing I do know for sure is one of the Gibsons will get to the ball first in the breakdown.
Let's get that balance.
Mitchell, the younger of the two, up against Blake, playing
Hold
for
your
Auckland. Both wearing 7.
Crouch.
And I wonder how Mum and Dad are feeling at the moment and who they're cheering for.
Fine.
I wonder who ran all the races to the dinner table.
Sit.
There they are, the 2 7s. That's gone straight down, and so Ikuasi will control things, gives it off to Ruru. Running ball, Plummer. There is Rayasi, steps in and then out. Then offloads to Lamb. Lamb's in for a double. Yes! Spins it. I think he put it down before he was out. Referee will check. Getting down nice and low was the secret for me, Jeff.
Out first, I agree. Okay, so on field we'll say try.
He's given himself a chance. I think maybe Salisi Rayasi took this a little bit easy in terms of delivering the ball and thinking it was just a run-in, but the defence was coming across very quickly. They'll look at grounding and they'll look at whether he's in touch.
Well, he also said that on-field decision is try.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, yeah.
And just diving on the player at the end.
Oh, great angle. Look at this. Coming across. Watch that foot coming down now. Oh, that's a try. That's a try. Well done. Very, very well done. 2 in the corner. He's going to be happy with his first 22 minutes.
Yeah, really well done. Great finish. Great execution on the inside, though. You talked about it. The fact they were nice and tight, Auckland on attack, but what they did do was get to the outside because the defence was coming outside to win. Canterbury have conceded a couple of tries. Just watch here. See the body angles here? So once they turn to the outside, the race is on. AJ Lamb gets low, slides. That's a really good finish. Great awareness, though. You see how everyone jams in really tight. Then the hands, dummy running from Sullivan, and then they're coming across. And nice finish.
When you come that hard, Mata'ali again's come on the inside of him, missed his man, and sold probably Mackay up the river a little bit there, but just got to sort out that goal line D. They're looking dangerous every time they get the ball there to Auckland.
Well, Mata'ali's not the first person to miss Salesi Rayasi in the game of rugby. Well, they certainly did look to push from outside in, and they left AJ Lamb out there, who went in to score a second, and now Plummer. has found the radar and adds an extra 2 points.
Yeah.
Great start here from Auckland. They mean business in 2021.
They do, and he's smiling there. Very, very good start. Seen a lot of the ball come his way, not so much going the other side to Ayasi to have any attack. But let's see if Auckland can take this kick off for once.
Sullivan gives it to Ikuasi. The
Don't do
tackle
that. Don't
coming
do
in
that.
from Romano. They try and milk the penalty. Referee says just get on with it.
It's going to be carried back.
Plummer. They continue with the tactic of playing the ball or playing the game inside Canterbury half as Mackay brings it out. That's just gone straight up in the air with the breeze that's there. Catches it beautifully though. Wonderful skills from the Canterbury fullback.
Hang on.
Drummond in and clears it. They need to try and string some phases together here. Canterbury team that we know are better when they stick to their systems. Romano, no other option but to charge into Hodgman.
Yes, boys. Yes, boys.
There it is again, another one. That time it's Romano, I think. Can't buy a trick at the minute, Canterbury. At least Mackay got the ball back after his kick, but the conditions are really hurting them. And they're just losing those contests around the ruck every time.
It's great work from Mackay. Best way to fix a poor kick is to go and chase it yourself and get it back. But they'd lost momentum, and it was all done well behind the advantage line. And just that lack of accuracy meant they weren't able to stop this Auckland defence coming forward. Really impressed with Harry Plummer's goal kicking, striking of the ball today. Just as we see here, so the defence is all coming forward. So all of a sudden, the cleaners are coming in from behind. They have more numbers there than Auckland. We're in a good body position, good assist from the side. Easy decision to be made. And probably as a halfback, Isaac, you might every so often have to clean a ruck.
You might, especially in
Kick
these
chase that
conditions,
pretty good,
especially if there's a little bit of shoveling loose
Yeah.
ball and stuff at the minute. They look a little bit, no communication there, and someone needs to take the bull by the horns, and I think that's Drummond and Romano, and just find each other. Come on, guys, lead by example and follow us, that's what they need. It's amazing what these conditions can do, though.
Plummer moves in. Second miss
That could be my fault.
of the afternoon. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, no, just didn't quite get that right. He just knocked one over from 52 metres, but Canterbury escape.
Well, those kick meters are up to 534 now. So Auckland with 534 kick meters, 273 to Canterbury. The other interesting stat is that Auckland have yet to miss a tackle from 25. Canterbury have already missed 3 as Ruru gets it and gives it to the big number 8. Look at him go. Ikuasi been impressive on his debut here as Sullivan tries to send it into the corner, but Mackay shields it, brings it back, gives it to Burke. Fergus Burke will kick it right down to where Plummer is. Gives it to Sullivan. He's a lovely runner with ball in hand, but he chips it over, and now Drummond says, let's just get inside enemy territory, and he's judged that beautifully.
Well, he's just missed. He's a smile on his face. That's that turnover. That bounces, and he's just, like you say, just made the sign of inches just outside the 22.
Yeah, Canterbury are happy with that, though. Getting to the set piece, I think, is suiting them. They've put a bit of pressure on that line-out time. This is one area they can really pressure Auckland.
They go to the back of the line now, taken by Jamie Lane.
Yeah, right now, boys. Yeah.
We're in 5 out of the Ponsonby club.
That's one sideways. Okay, got to use it, 9.
Thought about kicking, but he's got to chance his arm and give it to AJ Lamb. He's kicked it out on the full.
You're getting a little bit more confidence now. They've seen the opportunities. They have been there. They haven't taken them.
Canterbury wanting to up the tempo. Burke into Gibson. Mitchell Gibson on debut. Met at the gain line and Choke went over the ball, so there's a penalty here. Mataele, Fijian international, who played against the All Blacks, and here's Tim Stowers. the Manu Samoa number 8. They had to be in front of the kicker surely, but will carry on as Dan Sullivan has it. No advantage. Back for the penalty. Best passage of play for Canterbury after 28 minutes.
Body weight. Stay up, please.
Yeah, first time they're looking dangerous. 2 times almost making little half breaks there. Wanting to speed the game up. They've obviously had a talk. And they sort of sort themselves out. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Imagine it's too strong to go for goal, and it looks like he's going for the corner.
I think it's probably just as much about confidence in their game. If you take 3, not exactly 100% sure as Fergus Burke about which way to go, because it is strong, that wind. Really is. Got to make sure of it, middle of the park. Nasa Mataele, there it is, looking for that offload. Just some continuity in the game.
It's a good gap. It's Mitre.
Sam Stewart has returned back home to Christchurch. Made his debut for Southland and then 29 caps for Manawatu, but it's his first in the red and black shirts. And he'll want to make sure that he's accurate here at this set piece. Liam Allen is the intended target. They peel away and give it off now to McLeod. Dallas McLeod wears 12. How many times has he done that in his rugby career? Luke Romano, the qualified builder.
Advantage. I've got a clear enough release.
Another advantage. It bobbles around, taken by Allen, who started it from the line out. Scrafton eventually rolls away. Big pass out to Mataele. See if he can work a little bit of magic down that sideline. Falling the wrong way. The possession still very much with Canterbury. Tim Estowers. They pick and go and close. This is Stewart. Needs some support.
You can't do that. You go back to
Romano coming in from the angle.
Yeah, but you can't take their man without the ball.
Long advantage. I think Romano's a bit lucky. But then all of a sudden I sense a bit of a change in Canterbury. They're looking confident. They're looking dangerous.
You're an offside
and if
here.
they get a score here,
here.
it just changes the whole
In front. Okay.
the whole complex of the match. You know, it's just momentum, isn't it?
Now, it's a guaranteed 3, and this is one I would take.
You're right, it's not a...
Because he was on the ball.
Yeah. Wasn't guaranteed that little bit further out playing into the breeze.
Because it hasn't been a maul yet. So you can't
Just watch
play
here, nice
him
ball,
until
that's right to the outside. Watch the footwork here off the left and then accelerating in, and did really well. Lucky to not get penalised again, Auckland, for not releasing. It's a great carry, and just watch Romano in here, just trying to hit Choate and take him out of the way. That's illegal play. But that was encouraging for Canterbury, and Burke will knock this over and they'll be on the board.
And they are. One of their players getting some attention, Liam Allen. He's up. In fact, it was Mitchell Gibson that was down getting some shoulder looked at.
I think that's an important 3 points in the context of the game as well. Just start building. They'll have that win this next half, and it'll just change all momentum.
Using Zan Sullivan for the restarts. Mataele over calls because he was there. Now they build their pods, as they call them, groups of 3 to just carry the ball up, try and improve the angle for the kick.
Use it!
Drummond. Mataele will contest, but Luru is there and gives it off to Lamb. Plenty of time here for Fergus Burke, but he's taking it back. All he needs to do is hold on to it. This will be a scrum. Auckland ball. That's a much better chip from AJ Lamb.
Very good work. They didn't have much room or space to work with. Just created something out of nothing. And a little fumble from Burke, I think it was back here. And, the worst nightmare right on that goal line. And great D coming through there.
Yeah, it was critical he got to that ball on the full and took a mark. Because all of the defence was coming through to tackle him. And this is an important 6 minutes going in before half-time.
Manasa Mataele of the Marist Brothers High School in Suva. 1 cap for Fiji against the All Blacks. He was the junior boys long jump silver medalist in Fiji. Hence the reason he can step off that left foot.
Give the crowd a wave. You must have been listening to you there, Willie. That's the silver.
Crouch! Bounce!
That's a very successful stat to have. 2 visits, 2 tries.
Are you going to play that stationary? You stay outside.
You can see the way that
No, back.
the loose forward is angled out to give Rudu a little bit of space. AJ Lamb in for 3. Yes, sir! That's a beauty as well. Had a lot of work to do, AJ Lamb. And it's AJ Lamb 15. Or I should say Auckland 23. Canterbury 3. Kick to come.
Like you said, well, he had a lot of work to do, but he made it look so easy. A little slide of foot and carried 2 men over. If you watch here, pressure at the back, Rudu. They stutter straight off.
I don't know, mate.
Left expert diving at his ankles.
It's a great step. It's just the subtlety of the step, isn't it? But also the decision of Mitch Drummond to contest at the base of the scrum. So he stuck his foot out, which means his time to recover was too long. So he was behind the play carrying. Look, that's just too easy. 5 minutes from your own line, you've got to be really clear on what you're trying to do. Great little step off his left, and then just great strength, and that's a gimme. That is too easy. You take it back into your dead goal, in goal area, give away a 5-metre scrum. They're now 3 for 3 in the 22 on their attack as the rain starts again here at Eden Park.
Well, that's what we say here in Auckland, those of us that have been born and bred here. If you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. Plum up, makes no mistake. Right down the middle. And 23 becomes 25.
Yeah, you can see there, he just stutters. He's got to come up with one or the other. If he can't stop it at the back, he's got to be there to take the first receiver. Just too easy. AJ Lamb, how good is that? What a start to the NPC for him. Hat-trick already.
Canterbury be very good in this area, and there's Shea Fihaki. Gets up and wins possession. Canterbury will be desperate to try and get more points before the break. It's really part of their modus operandi. That's not going to help the situation, although Martelli is there. Gets rid of Plummer, who defends on the left wing on defence. Punivai is driven into the touch. They'll go back for the penalty.
Offside 3.
Yeah, you can see Arenas are quite clearly offside. The call's coming in from the touch judge, so they Canterbury, fair enough, trying to make the most of the advantage they have. Any opportunity to try and get a bit of momentum, but a couple of times now they've got away with just pushing that advantage line off those ruck defence. Not this time.
Turn down the points, and they're not going to beat Auckland scoring in multiples of 3 when Auckland are going up in 7s.
6 plus 1.
This way, but on me. On me.
They really have set the standard of scoring points before the break, and they'll be well aware that there's only 4 left in this half.
That's right, we'll do there. Line out's inside.
Contested. In fact, it's fallen into the hands of upper side. Rudu will kick. Martelli comes racing in, and he slides in like he's sliding into home base, but the ball bounces and Mackay claims it. Drummond out to the right. That's Stowers, trips in the tackle of Scrafton. Drummond again to Burke, a little wider to Punivai. Sullivan can't play the ball now. He'd lost the weight.
Arms, elbows.
There's Jaeger. Attacks again. They've gone 5 phases. Now they bring Fihaki in from the right wing. Renata is there with the tackle.
Go nowhere. Not supporting body weight.
Gotta say, Jeff, this is probably the most impressive Auckland defence I've seen in quite some time.
Backwards.
Yeah, I think his conditions are certainly helping, but Canterbury just aren't getting in good running lines and support lines, and once you lose momentum, really difficult to get it back. And that accuracy you're seeing there in terms of the tackles, not a great deal of deception from Canterbury and not a lot of momentum. So, yep, it's impressive. But I think at the moment, it's Canterbury just not getting into their structures quick enough and running enough threats.
10 metres, boys. Come on. Take a 10.
Darry is beaten to the jump, and Auckland have lost it forward, but Canterbury claim it back. Romano playing halfback errors. Tim Estowers. Stewart met at the gain line. Just continues to pump the legs and gets an extra couple of yards. Fihaki looking to be active from the right wing. It's tackled. They've got to release him. Breaking away was McLeod. It's been stripped by Ruru, who just kicks it. And to touch. McLeod looks like he's hurt himself in the process.
He doesn't look good. He's down on one knee in the backfield, but he's not involved in this play, so they're going to play on.
Well, they are playing on, Canterbury, and they haven't won the line out now. They're defending with only 14 players, and Plummer says doesn't matter. We'll kick down to where Mitre plucks it out of the air and brings it back to the gain line. Tackled by his opposite and Lamb. Drummond gets it back to Burke.
Wait.
There's the weight of that kick. Plummer will just walk it out, I think. He's in no hurry to do too much, and Auckland have scored 3 tries to 1 penalty, and at the break, it is Auckland leading Canterbury by 25 points to 3.
And will the Mitres game go towards Canterbury and put them, Auckland, under a bit of pressure all of a sudden?
Well, I like what Ruben Thorne had to say, is that they need to be accurate and they really need to use the wind. That's the big thing here. Auckland showing just how valuable it is to use the breeze, and no changes, Jeff, according to the stats here.
Not that I can see, and the good news is, though, it's continued to stay rain-free. It might be a little bit of a curse, but both teams will understand, look, the conditions are challenging, and controlling territory and controlling possession, all the little things you do to make sure that you're not making errors. But the defence, critical for both these sides, and Auckland have been really good first 40 minutes.
Marcel Renata we saw there, and he along with Hodgman and upper side, well, they haven't really had too many battles at the set pieces of scrums and lineouts. Here is Dallas McLeod out of Christ College. Scott Scrafton, and now Zahn Sullivan gets us underway. Kicking out towards Romano. Tap back by Rayasi, former basketballer, and that's what they used them, is to get up and contest for the ball, and Auckland now send it into the sky. Mackay, though, ever so reliable into the high ball that was there. Rudu's made a nuisance of himself, and the referee says he was able to do that. Counter-ruck comes in again. They talk about going past the ball. Auckland have done that, and they've got possession. Picked up by Renata. 22, you can see right there. Auckland on the attack again inside the red zone. Plummer gives it out to Ikuasi, now out to Ayasi, who won the ball from the kickoff. The kick along the ground, just gone too far.
Yeah, letting it go over the goal line there. Obviously didn't want a line out, Fergus Burke. Rather the goal line drop out with this wind behind them. But good to see Auckland showing intent early. They can't sit back and think they've won the game. They've got to still play to try, and they're not defending it. They've still got to tackle in here.
I can't believe he kicked it. I mean, he had Harry Plummer on his inside. Just had to look for support.
Big restart down inside the Auckland half, and Plummer will bring it back through Ikuasi. Just puts the head down and runs into 3 Canterbury players. Lane offloads to Choate. Change of direction. Rayasi holds the ball up and then releases it to Ikuasi. Runs into Fihaki. Ball goes to ground. McLeod
Look,
couldn't
look.
challenge it. But Rasa can. And Mataeli's away. They might chase, but it's in vain. And rugby's a cruel game because you can defend for so long. One mistake from Auckland and Canterbury will make you pay.
They'll have a look at something, though. Oh, I got a feeling it might have been knocked on by
Time out. You got any
in
view?
the midfield.
McCoy, I think,
Yeah.
potentially could it have been. Yeah, it's
Okay.
one of those ones you almost want to put a boot to it and just get it downfield. It's going to be very hard to pick up any ball on the ground.
It might have been McLeod, actually.
The
I'm
ball
not sure.
around everywhere. I don't know who it touched there, to be fair. So, can you just have a look back on around the halfway line, then, please?
Yeah, it was the pass, the loose pass that went to ground.
Sorry, mate. I had about 15 players in my way, so I got no idea.
So I think the hand goes out just here. Oh, did it come off his boot?
Came off his boot.
I think it might have come off his boot.
Oh, gee, I'll get you. Cheers. No. You're here now.
Look at that. How about the skill set of that from the long jumper? Silver medalist at school. That hasn't touched the hand at all. That's a whiskey. Now the skills of Mataeli. Boy, that is not easy. He just swiped at it and then he looked and he goes, oh no, the ball's there.
Yeah, I think that was on purpose, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's not clear whether he's touched it or not. Okay. So you can't tell from the footage whether it's actually touched his hand or not. So that means we've got to play it out. It's going to be a try because there's no evidence to overturn it.
Try to Canterbury. Manasa Mataeli gets the first for 2021.
I think they got that right. Absolutely, yep. I think you look at the timing of when it just slightly moves forward, comes off the boot. So that's massive in the context of this game to strike that quickly just after half-time.
I had no clue, mate. He tried.
Oh, so crucial. And at real time, it looks like it. Oh, you go to the slow-mos and the close-ins. But playing to the whistle, when you can tell by his reactions, I don't think he thought he had touched it. And that tells you a lot.
That's come off the side of his boot, isn't it?
Back to the restart. Rayasi just tackles Romano and brings him to the ground.
No, stay. Wait.
Better from Canterbury. They need to be a little bit more physical at that breakdown and challenge Auckland, but they use the tactics that Ruben Thorne told Jeff Wilson they would in the second half of using that wind as Plummer puts it up into the sky. Mackay comes running in. Doesn't get the ball, but Scrafton does. Renata rather. Back to the blind side. Heem. Quick ball out to Lamb. Gibson ran into his brother. Now looking to hold up is Liam Allen. And he's ripped the ball nicely to the blindside flanker for Canterbury. Punivai will kick this.
I reckon it was
And
pretty
back for
simultaneous.
Auckland.
You might be right on
There's
review, but
Rayasi. Looking for some space, but Drummond is there. Gives it back to Burke.
just wait for it, boys.
It's really a wasted
Pass, put
kick
you on.
from that position. Heem will bring it to the line and look to try and get Lamb in some space, but it's cleared by Gibson. Counter-ruck coming in from McLeod. Needs a few more players to join him from Canterbury.
Ball's out, play
But
on.
Rudu goes in and gets it out. Renata gets hit by Stowers.
Stay, no, stay.
Crossfield kick. Comes down for Burke. Wayasi with the tackle. Ikuasi is there at 8. So is Drummond. Sam Stewart, the hooker. Drummond throws it out the back. Lucky Burke was there, and they're going backwards here, Canterbury. But now McLeod decides to just chance his arm and go forward.
Stay on. Stay.
Drummond, quick release. Punivai out to the try scorer. Mataeli,
Take advantage, high tackle.
high tackle. As the call is Henry.
Good number.
Tim Stowers drives forward.
Cool, thank
Burke
you.
gives it off to Stewart again. Going backwards, that's gone forward. And so they'll come back.
There. Wait, no. It's wonderful. Over. It's over here. 13, high tackle.
You hear the groan and the from the
Yeah.
prop that tapped it, but he
Number
wasn't going to
13.
go 80 metres, was he?
I think everybody else is quite happy that it brought it back. He was isolated and he wasn't going to bust through.
Nearly
But
a
yeah,
mark,
there
huh?
it is. It was going down. Tough call, but it's correct. Letter of the law. And Canterbury all starting to swing their way now.
Yeah, the danger of what Auckland are doing is they're looking to go to the air when they get the ball, and then you're relying on it being contested. Looks as though there is going to be a change. Nani Punavai is just getting ready to go on, and he's going to replace Manasa Mataele, which is a bit of a surprise to me because looks dangerous every single time he's had the ball. Change being made. And for Auckland, just giving the ball away, Isaac, and that's not a good idea when you're playing into the breeze. You've got to roll your sleeves up. There's the Auckland coaches. Look, they did a lot of hard work in the first half, but they had the benefit of the elements.
Yeah, and they did talk about half-time they're going to carry hard and into bodies. And 5 minutes into it, they've put three bombs up and a couple of crossfields. 50-50 possession. You don't want to get stuck down your end, do you?
They hurt. Just set up off the AR boys.
There he is, walking off. He's had 5 minutes of actually being able to get some front football, and now he's got to go. But he's made his difference anyway. Let's see what Punavai can do.
Mark Brown in the middle alongside Ruben Thorne in the Canterbury coaching box. Sam Stewart to feed the line out. Liam Allen brings the ball down, and now Stewart will get the ball, and they'll look to try and rumble forward. This is better from Canterbury. They've scored first in the second half. They've cut the deficit to now 15. As Drummond releases the ball out to Punavai. It was a flat pass. Heem was there to meet him at the gain line, and now they look to drive him back. Forwards through Romano. Tim Estowers with another carry. There he is again, Luke Romano. What a workhorse
Straight
he
down.
is for this team. Burke to Mackay, who skips and breaks through the tackle of Heem into the hands of Leonard Brown. He needs support at the moment. Ikuasi's off his feet, and then he's had a go at the ball. Flat ball that's intercepted. They'll come back for the penalty.
Yeah, playing in their hands there a little bit. His flat balls got away with it earlier, but he knew he had an advantage.
Falling over.
And exactly what was happening in the first half with Canterbury. Now it's going the other way. Auckland just getting done at ruck time.
Interesting decision there. Take the line out. The change being made here. Corey Kello, debut for Canterbury. He's going on, replacing the number 8 in Henry Stowers. So Kello, that's where the penalty is being given, going off his feet.
7 is coming.
This young man,
7's running off, so just make sure we got this right.
talented player.
Is this right?
Well, they've kept Stowers on, actually, Jeff, so a change of mind.
So the wrong number was put up.
Yeah.
Threw me a curveball. Mitchell Gibson is the man replaced.
It is, and Allen wins the line out again. And there's that man, Kellos, that you were talking to the coaches about. They got big reps on this kid, and that's why. How strong is he? First touch, over for a try. What a debut entrance for young Corey Kello.
I don't think you can believe it. They've just all stayed in. It's like no one's seen him break off. It's like they didn't know he was on the pitch. Focusing on the drive, and it's hard to teach. He's just broken off at exactly the right moment. You see him on the back here, number 20. Ikuasi stuck in here, head down.
Do you reckon that was the set play? Or was he just got a bit excited? Because the drive was well and truly set. There was no support players around him. He's on his own. 10 metres out, and there you go. I'm just going to run up over the top of them on debut.
He's just read that like an opportunist, I think. The maul hadn't moved, so the backs could have come forward. They were stuck back on their line. And I think he was just the energy of him. He just thought, this is my chance.
Sam Stewart's thinking he's coming in. I'm going to get a line-out drive, maybe get a meat pie. Off and gone. Great work. And this game has swung in 7 minutes of the second half. We've got a real contest here, Eden Park.
Well, we wanted it to be competitive, and Canterbury showing why they are such a class outfit. Fergus Burke puts a little bit of sugar inside the nice warm tea. And that is terrific from a young man. But that's just it. When you're young and you're enthusiastic, you just get the ball and want to run, and that's what he did.
may not have heard the call.
He's probably got it wrong and was supposed to stay in there.
Again, they kick out to the right-hand side of the field, and Romano is beaten again by Rayasi in the field. That's gone forward.
I actually think he was offside there as well when he grabbed that. He's lucky it's a scrum and not a penalty.
Well, they're targeting Romano from the kickoff, and well, we mentioned Salesi Rayasi. He was a basketball superstar at school at St. Pat's Silverstream, and this is why. Look at him get up. Actually, there's another basketball star at school, young Jeffrey Wilson, I believe, as well.
Back to how we started the game.
I don't know where you heard that. I do not know where you heard that. I'm not the talent of this kid.
I heard you were talented.
Just a battler.
I don't know if
Short battler. Anyway, look, what's happening out here, more importantly, Bossy, what do? Territory once again, put all the pressure back on him?
Yep, they just put it down. Look at the space in the backfield down here on the Auckland left-hand side behind Rayasi. There's loads of space. Just nudge it down there and put the pressure on Auckland.
Drummond's going to kick. How accurate is he? And between Sullivan and Rayasi. Gee, Sullivan got close to that touchline, but he's kicked it straight back to Burke.
Pass will put you on.
We'll give it to Mackay in the midfield, and he's got plenty of real estate that's expensive in Auckland down that left-hand side. Plummer.
Just hold ya.
So the game of force back continues between the backs, and the forwards just stay in the middle. Sullivan gets to it nicely, gets tackled by Burke and Rayasi. The left foot kick. Chased it beautifully.
I'm not sure that was the plan, was it?
I don't think so at all. Oh, he's given it to Canterbury there. I thought Canterbury coming on might have dropped it out.
No, I think he just missed it. He clean missed it.
He'd be happy about that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, our viewers, he's missed it. We don't get to check those.
Plummer asked the question, and you heard the referee say we judged that he missed it. So Auckland in the opening 10 minutes of the second half just haven't had any possession at all. And Canterbury have been using the breeze and also their skills at the line out. It's won by Romano. Now they set a target in nice and close through Tim Estowers. Back to Mackay in the pocket, who'll put it high and ask questions of Sullivan. Beautifully taken by Zahn Sullivan. Quality player, young 20-year-old. Plummer looking for the angle. He's done well.
Yeah, Auckland will be happy with that. Canterbury have just got to keep patient. What they're doing is working.
Number 2.
But those high ones, just giving Sullivan a little bit too much time to get on under it.
Shiloh Klein, he goes on for Sam Stewart.
He's coming. Open the gate.
Good debut for Sam Stewart.
Make it look like a line, don't they?
He's experienced at this level, but sure, he will be absolutely delighted in the performance that they've shown in the second half, in particular in the 11 minutes that they've dominated. Tough for Klein, though, he's just come on. Romano gets him out of jail by winning the line out. Tim Estowers. Great defence from Auckland, in particular Plummer. Putting on a shot on the big number 8. Now they'll clear again through Burke. Easy tactic this from Canterbury.
It was touched.
Zahn Sullivan's touched it, so he's got to play it
This
now.
will be carried back.
Into the hands of Mackay. Quality schoolboy player, under 20s and 2016 and 17 as well. Picked up by Klein. Goes through the middle. The Auckland player looks like he may have injured himself, but Darry just losing the ball somewhere there in the tackle of Lane.
And that couldn't come at a better time for Auckland. They were looking under a bit of pressure, slow to get back there. The forwards were still coming back. They could just hold that for a couple more phases. I think Canterbury are looking dangerous again.
Yeah, as long as you're outside 10. Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? Lock on lock. And one of the players for Auckland not looking too good, Jeff.
Yeah, took a shot, Zahn Sullivan, in the tackle, and they will mark Plummer, vastly experienced physio for Auckland. He's been with the Black Caps and the Blues. Time for Zahn to take a break, I imagine. Just been HIA.
Big moment for Auckland. He's been very good, and I'm not sure who will go back to fullback with these conditions for him. As you can see, he's just talking to his eyes there a little bit off by the looks of it. Vision blurred, maybe. Just hope to maybe see him back, or just hope he's all right, first of all.
This is a...
Yeah, we kick when we're in front, and he passes the ball, so the Canterbury catcher cuts the
Just
ball.
watch the tackle here. Comes in and,
yeah,
just on the back of the head there, and affects the tackle, but anything else after that? A friendly fire maybe from AJ Lamb, but
It's not a new one.
so it's
If he runs 5
Solomon
metres as well.
Cutter who comes on, so there'll be some sort of reshuffle. Maybe Heen to the back or Lamb. We'll just have a look and see. Rayasi. And this guy can play, Cutter. He is dangerous. Exciting to see him here in New Zealand rugby in this NPC. Looks as though Rayasi's gone to the back.
Looks like he's going to the back. It seems the logical one with his boot in these conditions. And he's puts a little bit more pressure, losing the kicking option. Wrong time of the game, wrong end of the field. I hope they adjust their game. Carter will be great to see with ball in hand.
Crouch!
Reuben Thorne told Jeff Wilson they need to be accurate, they need to use the wind, and that's what they've done in the opening 13 minutes of the second half. Really has been accurate from the visitors as Auckland look to exit from their own half. Corey Evans with the left-footed kick. Fihaki gets there in time and replies with his left foot. The Yaws call is given from Ruru to Plummer, who just watches it go out. Isn't he an impressive specimen? Shea Fihaki out of the Sacred Heart College, 8th cap, just 20 years old.
Number 1.
And he kicked the penalty in one game last year. That was easily over 55 metres and did not miss.
Time on.
Couple of changes. Finlay Brewis is on. As is Ramiki Poihipi from McLeod. And Leonard Brown.
Middle of the line out, Auckland win it. Rudu is there. Takes it straight into touch.
I don't think he'd be too worried about that. Cleaning up sloppy ball, get it in, settled it. They put a lot of pressure on Canterbury's line out in the last wee while, so I don't think he'd be overly worried about that will really be.
Sawane Vekina comes on as well. Another change. Ramana Ringlinga Kappa. The young Walini Ikuasi.
Well, he's been good, Ikuasi, just a 19-year-old, replaced by another youngster, the former captain of Mount Albert Grammar, the captain of New Zealand secondary schools in Redlinger Kappa, who will feature at some stage soon. Showed his met at the game line. In fact, it was Gibson that was belted and taken backwards. Lulu, it's back into the 22. They can't kick it out in the full, so Plummer goes down the middle of the field. Coming across is Mackay, and Fihaki is there as well. Rayasi takes this with plenty of time. He'll return it with interest. Now he offloads. Quick hands to Lamb with the centre kick. Fihaki has been charged down. And the forwards looked around, didn't know where it was, but Drummond knew where it was, and now Tim Estowers again. Ball is there, Scrafton went straight over the top. Won the ruck, and now Ruru throws the dummy. Ruru looks for support. Heen with the kick along the ground. Cutter chases, but Burke gets there first. Restart from the goal line.
Time off here as a couple of subs come on again. Jeff, who we've got coming on?
Jordan Lay coming on, as is Zach Gallagher for Canterbury. Alex Hodgman, the man replaced.
5 red.
As we see Fergus Burke going back on the ball there. Kick just a little bit too long. They'll ease the pressure here with a long kick off the goal line. That was a couple of metres shorter. Auckland would have been in by all money.
Well, there's another international, Jordan Lay, for Manu Samoa. He's on in jersey 17, and they're using the breeze to full effect here, Canterbury. Fergus Burke gets it down towards the halfway mark, and they bring it back with purpose to Auckland. Grayasi at first receiver, the dummy, and then the power drive. Scrafton. In fact, it was Lane that just offloaded immediately. They strike back again through Gibson on the left-hand side. Fihaki had to make the tackle. Grayasi with the pick and go. Breaks the first tackle. 6 phases. They go a little wider to Lane. Jamie Lane.
No, you missed it, mate.
Creates a 7th phase. Scrafton. Midfield now, they've got options both left and right. They go to the right-hand side. Again, there's plenty of support for the Auckland Carriers. Renata. Auckland through Cutter. Gracie tried to flick it out to Gibson. He's lost it forward after 10 phases. Nice defence coming in from Canterbury.
Yeah, good bit of pressure. He shakes his head there. He knows it was on. He just needed to get it away anyway, and he had unmarked at Gibson outside him, I think it was.
Yeah, form the scrum.
Well, both teams have made a number of changes. Zahn Sullivan is not going to return. So this is what Auckland are going to have at the back, and Rayasi's going to have to play that role at fullback, whether or not he's a carrier or a distributor. He'll have to make up his mind. Look, there's no doubt he has an effect on the game, has an impact on the game, but as we see now, Isaac, is the fact that the last 20 minutes of most games is won and lost by reserves. Which group of reserves is going to come on and take the momentum back in this game and create enough opportunities to score points?
Didn't we see a game here last night very similar to that? Drummond.
Great kick away. He's under a lot of pressure. He did well just to get it away, to be honest. Kicking against the wheel of the scrum as well. But would have liked it to be a lot longer.
Auckland don't get it in straight through Klein, and Scrafton keeps looking at the assistant referee. Nick Bryant's just telling him to calm down.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Options.
In fact, that was Likina.
Scrum called.
And they've opted for the scrum quite rightly, I think. The line-out's been under pressure. Expect them just to get it to the back and get it away again.
Well, I think maybe you need to still play a couple of phases.
Yeah, I think so too. They've got some strong runners in the middle. It just takes the pressure off 9, and you get a better kick chase as well.
And just maybe manipulate the backfield a little bit more. And now that Rayasi's back there, he has to control the spaces, and Dan Bowden talked about controlling the middle third, and he's talking about the middle third across the park. The decision-making of Rayasi when he receives possession, and you can see it. It's probably what they're discussing now. Okay, I'm going to cover that side, you cover that side. You know, Auckland's defence has been very, very good. As is Canterbury's, though, when you're operating close to 90%.
Yeah, exactly. And those two have been operating a 2 fullback role with this win. They've been very, very deep, but they haven't really had anyone in the sweeper. I wouldn't mind seeing Canterbury. They did it in the first half into the win. A couple of those short little nudges, and I think that's on at the minute. But they haven't gone to it yet.
Well, another promising player out of the Canterbury stock is Zach Gallagher, captain of Christ College, New Zealand Secondary Schools and under-20s, but he's now just been replaced by Dowie, who's come back onto the field. So the physical toll of the first game of the Bunnings NPC really taking an effect here.
Crouch. Fight. Sit.
I'm sure that wasn't in the plan at all.
Lapsing under pressure.
They didn't get penalised.
Well, they've made up for the inaccuracy at the line-out of it not being straight with a powerful scrum, and
He's called for shot.
this is the first chance for Auckland to actually get points in the second half.
You just watch on this side. Yeah, it's a really good.
You just mentioned those reserves, those front rows making a difference straight away.
Well, when you've just thrown a ball not straight, you're going to put a bit extra in, right? And McKenna did that then. And Plummer now, just to get a little bit of that momentum back for Auckland. Game certainly has slowed. War of attrition, pressure brings mistakes. And this is not an easy kick. It's going to drift a little bit across from left to right, just with the breeze. We saw last night here in the test match between the All Blacks and Wallabies, kickers struggling from this side of the field, kicking into this breeze. Got to start this just a little bit left of centre.
Makes no mistake, Harry Plummer, and extends that lead out to 11.
He's been good all night, has he? Plummer, it could be a very, very crucial three in the context of the game. 20 minutes to go. Canterbury had all the momentum till now. This might be Auckland gaining some back.
Lane calls it, but it goes down to Rayasi. Here is Redling a cuppa.
Just stay out of there, boys.
A leader at schoolboy level and now in the big time. He had his debut for Auckland last year as Rayasi kicks it down to where it's fielded by Mackay. To Burke to return the favour. He's got some real estate there. Has he overcooked it? No. Beautiful bounce, but beautiful read by Plummer. He got there quickly, and now the old banana kick. That didn't have much of a net gain.
He did well to keep it in. That was going for out inside the 22, which would have been Canterbury's ball. So any line out outside of the 22 is better than where it could have been.
Short line out for Canterbury, Klein to feed it. Darry goes up, money ball at the front. It's not straight.
Yeah, just yeah.
And
Yeah, you may
have
have
a
a
look at
bit of
this
a point,
earlier,
but usually
Harry
a call won't
Plummer
help, yeah.
in great field position. But have a look at the banana kick here, Jeff. Explain to the viewers.
Well, he just lays it on the side of the ball, gives himself a little bit of angle, but knowing, just watch this, he just straightens it out and he sort of kicks towards 11 o'clock with his foot, just to kick it on the side. When I did that, it usually wasn't on purpose. Usually just went out naturally with a little bit of slice, but nice work there, nice coverage, and look, he's been really good. His experience, Harry Plummer, really came on, had a big influence late in the season for the Blues. Who can forget those kicks he made under pressure to win a game in titles? So this is important for this Blues and Auckland region.
Big scrum this time from Canterbury, and they get the rewards. So it's 1-1 in the scrums. As far as the battle of the front rowers, backs come running in 20 metres to pat you on the head. I hate that stuff.
Isaac, what do they do?
Oh, I think they keep plugging the corner here. The way they look like they're going to as well. They've got momentum. Give it back to the forwards while they're feeling 100%. They're going to dominate.
Well, this is to get yourself, if you can score a try, you get yourself in one scoring
Jeff,
play.
did you run in and pat forwards on the head when they won a penalty at a scrum and stuff? You a fan? Did you do it?
I wasn't fit enough to do that. That was a long way away. Just watch the pressure here. Yeah, great work. Good chase to the feet. They kept it square. And Auckland bails out and wheels. Did I go and run in and do that? No, look.
I won't penalise you for
Okay, it's just one of those things nowadays. And it's an important part of the game in terms of supporting each other, and they do it well.
A set play, and they bring Jaeger in from the blind side. Prop was standing there. They've made good meters here. Canterbury now an option out to the left-hand side. Auckland aware of the threat that Punivai is. Counter-ruck good from Auckland. Have they come through the gate? No, they haven't. So there's a penalty advantage here. Romano, who better to give it to? The 35-year-old veteran who's lost it. Penalty here. Surely they'll go to another set piece. The line-out's working well.
Over here. 23, sorry.
Yeah, they turned down the last one. I don't think they're going to take this one for sure. Being the three's not going to put them in within a score anyway.
Oh, 23, sorry. Yeah.
Well, they've got to score twice. And they're going to see if they can work in multiples of 5, maybe 7 here. Boy, that was a nice move at the line out there where they had decoy runners and then brought Jaeger in. Middle of the line out to Liam Allen. Into the hands of Callow now, who scored the try, and he immediately came on the field.
Stay back, boys, stay back.
Klein Gives it back to his skipper.
Wait. Still moving.
Drummond peels it. Now he feeds it off to Punavai. Good tackle from Heem and Lamb. They've walked over the top of Auckland. Counter ruck is good. Ruru, unfortunately though, he's done really well until he went to ground. Did everything right until losing his body weight and flopping.
Yeah, dominant tackle there from Auckland. The Canterbury could be aggrieved. He hit the knee and they let him drag him a little bit, but he was isolated. No one was there with him.
I couldn't agree more, though. He was certainly not released when he was tackled, then got dragged backwards, and that's what gave Auckland the opportunity to counter-ruck. I think really, really tough on them.
Knock on.
Call was not out, but they've knocked it on. Auckland will get the scrum, and here it is.
Knock on.
Just watch here. Once his knees are to the ground, players have to release.
He's knocked it on into touch.
So then you drag him backwards, and then there's players cleaned out.
AJ Lamb in the way slightly, bodies everywhere. Then he dives on it on the ground. There's a couple of times the penalty could have gone Canterbury's way.
Chance again. Let's go.
Well, this is the third clash between Auckland and Canterbury just over the weekend. In fact, just today, as you can see the tracker there, it was 25-3 at the break. Great start by Canterbury with the 2 tries to bring them back in the game, and then the penalty to Harry Plummer. But yes, the women's Canterbury team beat the Auckland team in the Farah Palmer Cup. The Mystics beat the Tactics in the final of the netball.
Is this the tiebreaker?
This is the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Lucky we're not going on aggregate. We'll try and work that one out.
Don't chase the hip, both teams. Hip stability.
Congratulations to the Mystics too. That's been an outstanding season for them. Worked hard, got better as the year went on, and then just controlled it right to the end.
Well, they're outstanding, haven't they? They've got some of the best players as well in that competition, but terrific to see Canterbury, after an 0-3 start in that competition, fight their way back.
No, got a feeling this competition is not going to be won in the first round either.
No. Certainly want to try and get off the best possible start if you can, and Auckland leading by 11. Lulu just leaves it for Redling a Kapa to offload to Kata. Look how strong he is. Lulu now to Choate. It's over the advantage line, over the halfway now. They'll kick it. Coming across is Mackay. Got the comfort of the breeze at his back, and he drives it down towards where Ayasi was standing perfectly. He'll bring it back and try and beat a couple of defenders or offload, and does both to Lamb. Scrapped it. In fact, it's Lane puts the head down and charges forward. Ayasi has been knocked down by Punivai. It's an advantage here for Auckland, just locked down, so just a knock on. Plummer puts the kick, and the advantage is over because he kicked it into the hands of Fihaki. He gets away from a few defenders. Now he kicks for some open space. Ball still sliding as Grafton eventually gets back. Plenty of blue and white shirts there to hold on to possession, and holding on the ground. Well, you don't see that too often where there is a knock-on penalty, and as soon as you kick it, it's over advantage. And Fihaki did really well.
Don't at all. I actually thought they could have come back, and he could have been in trouble for a yellow card there, but never mind. They got the ball anyway, and they got down the end. This is important. Still turning down the 3 points as well. I thought this might tempt them, actually.
No, I think they go to the sideline. They've got to keep plugging away. The gap is 11 points. They need to score a try.
Yeah,
agree. No point kicking 3 and then getting a try and losing by 1. And here was the breakout by Fihaki.
3. Sub 3. Number 3.
Oh, great cover back there.
Is that blue or red? Oh, 3's already gone. Right.
Grafton back there. Without him, they were lost. Good effort from the big man. This late in the game, still getting the yards in.
Time on.
Sione Ahio has gone on. Change for Marcel Renata.
He's out of the list in college. You don't hear too many players come from that school, but there Callow gives it off. Nice pass in the hands of poor Hippie. Beautiful target. They get around the corner, and now Auckland Defenders are there to meet him. Gibson and Heem putting in a great shift. Returning to where the line-out was set to Punivite. Two of them are on. And he's held on to the ball. Plummer did really well to stick his head down there, and the captain comes up trumps.
Yeah, great defence from Auckland again. That's the third time we just spoke about it. You want to keep going to the corner, but they haven't actually driven them. They tried to play moves off it, and Auckland defence has been very, very good and meeting them and dominate them coming around the corner. They just don't seem to have an answer for that at the moment, Canterbury.
Maybe just not doing enough work in the tight around the edges and a couple of more carries, because when they are shifting the ball, it's generally man-on-man coverage. So when they go out here, once the tackle's made, look at that, goes to ground. Once he's on ground, someone can come in. And Carter's the first threat, but Plummer gets himself in. The supporter choked. And it was away from the support players. So maybe just a little bit extra.
Okay. Time on.
Oliver Jaeger has been replaced to Mighty Williams. He goes on.
Scrafton gets it back. Showed the charge forward. Now Auckland try and out-muscle Canterbury in the close channels.
Wingers on, wingers on.
Straight up and down. Can't play at it, Auckland. He's offside. So there's an advantage here. It's just a knock-on advantage. Drummond gets it out to Fihaki. Advantage is over, and Fihaki needs to stay in play. He throws the ball into Time Stowers. He only knows one way, and that's direct. He pops it up to Callow. Gibson is there. Support arrives. Nice quick hands from the front row club. To the left they go. The kick pass out wide. No problem with the catch, but poor Hippie just brought down a metre short. Tamati Williams, well, he's a big unit, but he plays halfback, feeds it off to Klein. He's just stopped short, but the referee then has another look and says he's got it on the line. Here come Canterbury.
Yeah, something out of nothing. I thought by kicking it, didn't quite see him out on the edge, and I thought Plummer had defended it very well again. But great work, and there's nothing stopping Klein from that close.
I thought they had numbers through the hands. It looked as though they had an overlap, but they went for the kick, and it was nicely done. There was space there. Plummer's done beautifully to drag him down before the line. Good work here. Got plenty of support as well done, and then just watch the body position, gets himself nice and low, ducks down, drives, and just watch here, reaches out and rolls it on the line, and that's enough to give Canterbury an opportunity to get within that all-important try-point situation.
Once again, we see the initiative of the young fellas there. Williams decline, not waiting for the 9, picking it up fast himself. The speed of getting that away made all the difference. Auckland couldn't get their D set.
And if you go and go as well, we're both looking at the same thing. Whereas if you stay in line with the chaser, really.
Canterbury have scored 19 points in the second half to Auckland's 3. That is the impact of the breeze. As now Burke looks to try and increase that points, and yes, he has. 28-24. Champagne finish on the way.
And what a crucial kick that is. Just a try now will put them ahead.
You can never write off a Canterbury side. And they are showing why they are such a potent force. 11 titles in the last 21 years to the Red and Blacks. As Tim Stowers again looks for some yardage. Back into Burke, who'll just belt it down the middle of the field, and Rayasi is in good field position. Plummer with him. That's a really nicely weighted kick because Carter is chasing, and he'll get there in time to make the tackle on Burke. Good play from both teams. Burke staying up and buying some time. Now they give it back to Mackay. Rayasi. He has lived in that zone. A left foot kick, left fine touch out towards the halfway.
Line's in.
Yeah, and I think that's the option Auckland need to do a little bit more. Great kick from Rayasi there, getting it out in the halfway into the wind, but they've been putting it in the air, and they've been dominating the line out. They need to eat up some clock, kick it out,
Go in the middle.
and get themselves back on the momentum.
Get the sense they're going to back their defence to win this game. It's been very good through the course of this match. Discipline, accuracy, don't give away penalties.
The outside hand, but the referee says play on. Burke gives it to Callow in the midfield.
Yeah, that's the consequence because he was holding on. So first action's holding on, then he fell over.
Holding on. And Dikina getting over and making an
Him falling
all-important
off is the
jackal.
consequence of your man
Right
holding
over
on.
the ball. Look at the
He's coming, he's
size on
given
that's
the
hard
tug
to
and then he's
move.
fallen. He should have won the ball. Your guy's lying on top of it,
Gibson's
preventing
been
him
on
winning.
that little blip with the line out, and since then it's spurred him into the action. Done really well. Crucial turnover.
I didn't think so.
He's going to have a shot into this breeze. Scrafton keeps kicking it forward. It'll be on the 22 soon. No, I didn't think he was. Goodness me.
Yeah, that took about 15 seconds to decide that, though. And that's what they're looking at right now, is just soaking up time on the clock.
A bit of experience coming out there. No rush to do anything now. Every second counts in these last 5 minutes.
The experience important, and just given what's happened over the last 18 months, the fact that COVID has changed the world, there's just so many more experienced players in this competition. No one's heading offshore, they're all at home.
Beautiful take in the middle of the line out from Lane. Boy's been good for them this afternoon. So is Lulu. And we need to start thinking about those 3-2-1 points as well, fellas. For the Dwayne Monkley medal as Lulu goes in again. A change of angle inside. Plummer puts down the hammer. Plummer is over. Oh, Harry Plummer.
Check the holding on the switch. Oh, what's the replay?
Well, the crowd goes crazy, and quite rightly. That man there
what's the replay?
must have heard you, as if he hadn't done enough already. He is putting his hand up. You see Auckland here, very good, just playing one pass rugby straight up. And the first switchback we've seen had a lot of work to do, and no one could take him. Hanging off him. Goes the whole way himself.
Yeah, change of direction. And the decision to then accelerate into the gap, he was, I think, looking to try and create the overlap initially, but the Canterbury defence held off him, and so then he attacked the space, and then they started being worried about the offload, and so they didn't go low enough initially, and he just kept powering his way through it, and he celebrates with the try, which is in all likelihood won them the game. They've had to work hard. Canterbury being good in the second half, but Auckland are going to get away with a win after a strong first 40.
You mentioned his experience in the Trans-Tasman Super Rugby competition where they used him at 12 or 10. Drummond will be disappointed, but all of that experience is now starting to show why they've invested so much in some of these young players. He was a schoolboy star at St. Peter's College, not too far away from here. New Zealand secondary schools, under 20s. And he's always had a big frame, but that acceleration that you spoke about was unbelievable. No problem at all. Into a difficult breeze for the Auckland captain of 2021. And Auckland go back to 35, Canterbury 24.
Yeah, let's go quick here, Canterbury. Not much time left. They'll be looking to get anything out of this game. Plummer and Ruru have been very, very good. Been the difference today, I think.
Time on.
Taken by AJ Lamb. At the restart. Now, Redling a carpet. They'll just try and close it out here, Auckland, even though there's 2 minutes to play. They'll look to kick through Waiasi, who wants to use his left foot. No, nothing really on there.
Bit of frustration, I think, boiling over from Romano, not going their way, just trying to stir anything up. This tells the story of the night at the office for Canterbury. Nothing but a few handbags, I don't think there's anything here.
On the side. Where you are. Over on the 15.
Terrific start for the finalists and winners of the 2018 season, Auckland. They knew they were up against a great Canterbury side. All the sides from Canterbury are great, but they wanted to get off to a great start, or to a fantastic start, I should say, and they've done just that. They work it down the close channels, and Bekena runs into Fihaki's shoulder. Ruru gives the ball up, and real impact from the bench for some of these players from Auckland. Happy to just try and buy some time. Romano tries to get a turnover, but Auckland send in numbers. They can't get the ball back.
Red going forward.
Here he is. Young Waimana Redlinger Carpet, captain of Mount Albert Grammar, captain of New Zealand secondary schools, under 20s.
Plenty of guys from both teams on the floor, too, to be fair.
Played a lot of his rugby at the junior levels at lock, and then moved towards the loose forward. He's such an asset to Auckland, and he will develop into a fine player.
Crouch!
Last 21 years, Canterbury have won 11 titles, Auckland 5, Tasman 2, and Wellington 1, along with Taranaki and Waikato. And here's a penalty to the visitors. That's not the Smoko siren, that's full time. Canterbury will fight to try and close that deficit if they can. Auckland with the bonus points. What a terrific way to start the Bunnings Warehouse NPC for 2021. All matches shown on Sky. Donaldson gets it under the midfield with Burke, and now Tim Estowers gets towards the 10-metre line. Dari
So stay where you are, bud.
gets a couple of metres. Romano runs it dummy line and falls into the hands of Brewis. Nice run from the loose head prop. Burke.
All five.
And they offload, and
No, you're fine,
they'll
mate,
get another
five.
penalty here, Canterbury.
Just
So
let it
holding on to the ball, Mayasi stuck the hand out. Geez, that's been difficult this year. Some referees have yellow carded, others have just given away a penalty.
Yeah, he's probably lucky. Not that it would have counted much at the end of this match, but Canterbury taking as much as they can, playing as much as they can. Important bit of game time here, just a few of the subs to get a bit of familiarity with each other, and I think that's going to be crucial going forward.
Well, that's what Fergus Burke was just asking Nick Bryan. He said, well, he's tapped that down. Surely that's a penalty. He's got to go. And Nick Bryan said, play on.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Absolutely. I mean, you can't do this. I mean, he's got...
Should we set up 10,
Yeah,
boys?
I mean, he had no realistic chance of catching that.
Should we be patient, eh?
And bonus points could be critical into this competition.
And that's why Canterbury are looking to try and score here to get within the 7-point margin as well. They've scored 3 tries, looking for their 4th, and to close the deficit. Klein has it. There is an advantage. Donaldson calls for the ball, releases to Prunivai. That's been lost forward as well. Surely he's got to go to the bin.
Oh, they should really be down to 13, shouldn't they?
Them all.
Well, they've got 15 still on the field, I can tell you that.
Collapsing.
So the original penalty, collapsing maul. As kick meters started to even up with Canterbury when they got the wind. But this all-important line out because they're looking for some bonus points here, Canterbury. They won't win the match, but it could play a huge part in their season towards the business end after the regular season. Klein has it. Gets another metre. He'll go close. He's got to be over. Nick Bryant looking around.
Oh, well, I thought it could have been a penalty try.
Oh, and those players are offside. Been very unlucky, Canterbury.
The referee calls time. And Auckland will start their season with a victory at home. They all sort of stand up in a pretty anticlimax to what was a terrific game of rugby. Auckland dominating the first, Canterbury the second, and Auckland have won 35-24.
Oh, I know. They won't be happy that they fought hard. They almost got something at the end, and if the decisions had gone the other way, they probably should have got at least a point out of that. But a good comeback from Canterbury, but Auckland setting their stall out early, and they do look like a force to be reckoned with this season.
AJ Lamb picked up a hat trick in the first half, scoring 3. Plummer gave him the bonus point with his try. And for the visitors, Mataele, Kello and Klein with the 3 tries. Terrific performance for Auckland. They'll be happy to get away with a hard-fought battle against one of their arch rivals.